Well, I believe that I myself am a miracle. So I've seen God work incredible miracle in my own life. 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with lung cancer. Um, if it hadn't been diagnosed, I wouldn't even be standing here right now. The surgeon informed me that I had 12 months to live unless I underwent an operation. And yes, I underwent an operation, but I still believe that it was an incredible miracle of God. One, that that was identified, and secondly, that I was cured so quickly. So experienced it in my own life, but I think I've seen a miracle yesterday in, in the example I gave you, just one resident in one institution who says, my life has changed. That is a miracle. Because when you have lived for 24 years on the street, when, according to his own testimony, drug and alcohol is like a magnet, and as soon as I go out, that's what it was. I couldn't resist, and you see that. I mean, I've seen it in some of our work as well in places like Canada, sheltered workshops where people are actually written off by society. Literally people who big business would say they're of no value. We can't employ these people. Actually work, learn how to get a rhythm back in their day, to get a discipline, and suddenly to find that they are capable of doing very precise and quality work, to the point that big business comes in and sees these people in a sheltered workshop and says, well, I could actually employ you and take them off into gainful employment. Those for me are the miracles. But I've heard so many testimonies of people who have been enslaved to so many things and who today are serving as Salvation Army officers around the world. Incredible stories. So yes, I believe in miracles. God is still at work. We see too much evidence of that not to believe it. Well, I guess like any human being, when you read the news or you listen to the news every day and you follow what's going on, I mean, the world is a pretty dark and desperate place in many places. Reality, many people in the world are suffering, are living in very precarious situations. Children being born into intergenerational poverty. In many of our Western and developed countries, this isn't third world and places where I've lived. This is a reality also in the developed world, in the Western world. However, I think part of who we are people of faith, we are people of hope. And I've seen so many instances, even actually in my visit here in the Netherlands, just listening to the life story of one person who's been through one of our drug and alcohol rehabilitation programs, and just to listen to a life story, a life that's been radically changed and transformed, and a person who says, I actually have a wonderful place now to live, having lived for so many years on the streets. And you can multiply those so many times wherever you are. And I think it's those stories that really continue to show me that we can make a difference in the world. But that in the backdrop of a world where our politicians are telling us, actually we can make our nations great again if we isolate ourselves and if we protect ourselves and if we do things in our own way. I would say, on the contrary, we're much stronger when we work together. So we have incredible partnerships with organizations outside of the Salvation Army, working with local authorities. And it is in working together we make a difference. I've seen evidence of it, so I still believe it, no matter how gloomy the news is.